In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create fun activity pages just like this one that you can use to self-publish kids' activity books on Amazon KDP. Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome to my channel. Every single week, I share videos all about self-publishing books so that you can build your own business self-publishing low and medium content books using the Amazon KDP platform. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then give this video a thumbs up. Last week, I shared a video all about kids' activity books. And in that video, we looked at a self-publisher who is making thousands of dollars every single month from a handful of fun activity books that aren't even the top ranking best-selling books in that niche. I will link that video down in the description box below if you missed it and you want to go check it out after watching this one. But I looked at the different kinds of activities and puzzles that are common in these types of books, and when looking at them, it might look that it could be quite difficult to make these kinds of kids activity books. You're looking at trying to create puzzles and activities like crossword puzzles, word search puzzles, mazes, coloring books or coloring pages, just to name a few. And these kinds of things aren't that easy to make if you don't have the right tools to help you do it. Mazes in particular are an activity that is very popular in kids' activity books, and you can use them to create a whole book full of just maze activities, or you can create an activity book with a variety of different activities and puzzles in them, mazes being included in there. Let me show you a couple of examples. Samira Taj is the self-publisher that I featured in my last video. And while she does have a variety of activity books for kids, she does have this maze book. Now, this maze book is not a bestseller or top ranking book by any means. It's currently sitting with a bestseller rank of 5,746, which is still a great bestseller rank. But as I say, it's just not the best-selling book in the niche. But when we look at this, with that bestseller rank and the pricing of her book, this book's making around $2,200 per month in royalties. Another example is this one by Jennifer Trace. This is another kids maze puzzle book or activity book, which is not one of the best-selling books. It just does consistently average month after month. This one's bestseller rank's a little bit higher, 6,536, but this one is also making around the same amount, around about $2,000 per month in royalties. And if we go in and have a look at them, you might think that these are quite difficult to make, but that is not actually the case. So today I want to show you how easily you can create maze activity books that are suited for kids of all ages. First of all, let's go to the tool that we're going to use to make these maze puzzles. There are actually two different tools you can use to make the mazes. The first one is called Instant Maze Generator, and this tool creates the general shape typed mazes. We'll look at them in just a minute. And the second one is called Handdrawn Mazes, and this one creates the really fun, creative type of mazes where you can create a bit of a story around it. So in this video, I'm going to show you both of them. They are different, separate tools to each other. So it all just depends on the kind of mazes that you want to make, and I will pop a link down in the description box below for both of them if you do want to go check them out. So let's get started with Instant Maze Generator. Let's just log in and we're going to create a new project. And first of all, let's just go and set our overall book requirements. And so this is just going to be what size you want your book. These all are in line with what you can print through Amazon KDP. We can choose whether we would like to have page numbers and how we want those page numbers to be displayed. And we also want to choose whether we want to add the solutions to the end of the book, which is a very good idea. So now that we've set the overall settings for our book, next let's decide what mazes we want to actually include in the book. Do you want to have a book all of circle mazes or only hexagon mazes? And all you need to do is have a look through. They're the different types of shaped mazes you can have, and just click the maze that you want. Let's just say we're going to do a plain old square maze. Click on it and it will appear on the page. Simple as that. Now you can adjust the maze itself to suit what you want. So there are going to be some options here, which is going to help you determine things like the difficulty level of the maze, where you have the entry and exit and that sort of thing, whether you want some color, if you're doing maybe printables, not so much a book to be sold on Amazon KDP. This is where you can adjust the colors, and this is where you can adjust what I'd say is the difficulty level. So if we have less rows, it's going to be a much more simple puzzle to complete. And so that's what you're going to want to focus on depending on the age of the child. If you're interested to see the solution, we can click on that. You can see the pathway to get through the maze. And if you're not happy with where these entry and exit points are, you can change those. Now, another way that you can do all of those things that I just mentioned is by using this button up here, where you can drag these sliders to adjust those settings. So adjusting the complexity is easily done by sliding this slider, as well as the thickness of the walls of the maze to suit how you want it to look. As you're going to be making this for children mostly, you can make that quite a simple, less complex maze to complete. Once you're happy with that maze, all you need to do is add a new page. Then we can go through and add, perhaps we might want a hexagon maze. And again, we go through those same adjustments, adjusting them for how we want them to look and the age of the child. Now, something else you can do, depending on the level of the software you have access to, is to add images and borders to your page. If you want to make it look a little bit more fun and creative, there are some backgrounds available in here, and just choose one that you like, click on it to add it to the page, and then adjust it to how you want it to look. And then we can adjust the maze on the page, perhaps adjust the size of the walls to match the image. And so that's a really quick way that you can add some creativity and something a bit interesting to the page. Now, there is another quicker option for you as well, as opposed to creating your pages individually here, and that is by using this QuickBook Creator button. So this is going to allow you to create a whole book in just a few clicks. Let me show you. So we're going to decide what types of mazes, how complex we want, whether you want a variety of different levels of difficulty. So if you do, we'll just click all of them, and then it's going to put some of them simple, some medium, some complex. And let's say you just want to have a few of each. So let's say we want 20 of each type of maze to go into this book. If we do 20 of each, that's going to give us 100 mazes in our book. And that is it. We click create, and I have created a whole maze book in literally less than a minute. So there are some adjustments that you may want to do here. One of the main things I would do is use this button to randomize the pages, so you don't have all the circle mazes together, all the square mazes together, all the same difficulty level together. So we'll randomize the pages to make it a little bit more interesting. Aside from that, anything else you may want to do is to then go on and add any other images that you want to the page, like we just looked at with the backgrounds. But when you're finished and when you are happy with each of your mazes and your pages, you can now just download the book. Use this button here, download as a PDF. And once you have downloaded as a PDF, it is ready to go, ready to upload into your Amazon KDP account. It really is as quick and simple as that. Okay, now let's move on, and we're going to take a look at the other maze tool, which is the Handdrawn Maze. So we'll hop into Handdrawn Mazes, and this tool has a lot more options in the types of mazes you can create. You can also be more creative as well with these types of mazes. And these types of mazes, they will take a little bit more time to create as well. There are so many different kinds and different types of mazes you can make, over 40 different styles. And then within each style, there's even more to be able to choose from in terms of how you want it to actually look when you're looking at that specific style. There is over 40 different kinds or different styles for you to go in and have a look at. So some are quite simple, like this one here. I'll click on this. Now, this is a very simple maze. There's one way in, one way out. You just have to find how to get through the maze. But then you can start to get quite complex, like this one, where you have 3 entry points, 3 ways into the maze and 1 way out, and you have to find which entry point is the correct one. And the complexity of the maze is going to depend on what age of child you're creating your books for and the type of story you're going to tell with each maze. And what I mean by telling a story, I'll explain that in just a minute, because I just want to show you first that this tool works exactly like the first tool that we looked at, even though this one looks a little bit more complicated and is a little bit more time consuming, but it does still work the same. You can create your mazes and pages individually. Like I just did here, I clicked on the maze, it added it to the page, and you can go through and adjust any of the settings that you want to adjust, adding color if you want to, adjusting the pathway of which one of these is the correct path to take, and what style you want to use for that. And doing it this way, it is especially helpful if you're creating an activity book with perhaps a variety of activities, not just mazes, and so you just want to create a few individual pages. It also has the really handy QuickBook Creator tool here as well. So using the QuickBook Creator, all you need to do is decide how many mazes you want in your book. Let's say we're going to have 50, and then you just need to choose which mazes you want to include. So let's say we're going to pick out 5 different types of mazes to include, and then it's going to give us 10 of each. We click create book, and again in a couple of minutes I have a whole book, and we probably want to go through and click randomize again so we have different mazes on each page. But the reason why I say these types of maze books are a little bit more time consuming is because, and I mentioned it before, you want to create a story. So kids want things that are fun, that keeps their interest. They want a reason to do the activity. So if we head back to these couple of examples we looked at earlier, and I'll show you what I mean by creating a story. So it could be as simple as this: the submarine's trying to find its way to the top of the ocean. This one's here on the back of the book is showing whose balloon is whose. This example here is helping the bee find the hive, and another similar kind of story helping the bunny get home to its little burrow with its carrots. And we've got this one as well. So we have to find which bunny makes it and gets the carrot. And so that's what I mean by creating a story, giving the kids something fun to do, not just following a line along a page. They really want to help the bunny find its home or find its carrot. And so even if you do use the QuickBook Creator, you're going to want to go back and add something to each page to create that story. But the thing with this is spending that time to make these books and these really creative, fun mazes is going to give you a book that kids will love, but will also give you a completely unique book because you have customized each of your pages and each of your mazes. And that is how you get your books to stand out on Amazon. Now, just heading back to the tool, it does come with elements that you can use in your books if you choose to have that level of software, or you can upload your own images to use if you prefer to use your own completely unique images. But of course, once you have finished creating your pages, creating your book, as we did before, just download it as a PDF and it is ready to upload into Amazon. But of course, you do need to create a cover, since every book needs a cover. Although you can make your own covers, I do highly suggest having someone create it for you, because the cover really is the most important thing that catches the customer's attention, catches the customer's eyes when they are browsing on Amazon, and you really need it to be as professional and as high quality as you can possibly make it. It does not matter if your book is full of amazing, fun mazes if no one even sees them, because the cover design lets it down, and it means customers don't choose your book. And having a cover made does not have to be expensive. You can get great professional covers made by someone on Fiverr. Just make sure to read the reviews to make sure you are happy to work with them. But definitely having some budget to put towards a cover being made is something that I think you should really try to do. And whether you make the cover for yourself or you have one made, once you have the PDF file for your cover, you have everything you need to upload your book into your KDP account and start selling it on Amazon. It will take a few days for Amazon to review your book, and as long as it meets all their requirements, you'll have your book available for sale in no time at all. And imagine how quickly you can build a brand of kids' activity books by having access to tools like this. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you have been wanting to self-publish kids' activity books, that you find these tools helpful. As always, the links to everything are down in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.